Have you ever wondered, am I the asshole? Welcome to Who's the Asshole, a Grindr podcast where we're not just talking shit, we're getting into it. I'm your host, Katya, and I'm here to probe deep into your messiest, juiciest stories. So bend over, ladies, because I want to see the receipts. Who's the asshole? Today's guest has been in Hollywood for decades and is one of the most successful trans actresses around. You may know her from Transparent, Pose, Hustlers, or her most recent role as the star of the film Monica, which received an 11-minute standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival.
Correct.
Damn. Please give it up for Trace Lysette. Thank you so much for coming. I want to clap. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus Christ, God.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, okay. Rumor is you had an incredible year. True or false? Last year. That's what it says on the card, so I'm inclined to believe it. How was Dope Queens?
Oh, Dope Queens. We shot that actually in fall of 2021, and it's looking for a home. So I really hope it lands somewhere.
What's the deal with that? How does that work these days?
Sundance.
Yeah, hello, Sundance. We have some questions for you.
Oh, can we?
Oh.
Are we allowed to curse?
Of course.
Oh, it's Grindr.
Yeah, it's Grindr. It's a hookup app. We're going to say f***ing shit and piss and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the cut, but I know I brought it. I know Alexandra Gray brought it. So, you know.
It's frustrating. I won't even begin to try to understand how that all works in the last, 3 years or something? Because it's...
Like selling a project? Or,
yeah.
Yeah. Getting it into a festival and just as a trans person, sometimes I'm like, can you just put us at the front of the line, please?
Yeah. But hello.
Obviously the work needs to be good.
Sure.
But I don't know. Sometimes it just feels like it's 4 times harder for us.
Yeah. I mean, I think it certainly seems that way. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But I'm hopeful it'll find a home.
Yeah.
And it'll do well at a festival and then get on a big streamer and just blow up overnight. That's what I'm hoping.
Fingers crossed.
For Dope Queens.
Dope Queens. Hear that?
A romantic thriller. Kind
a
of
romantic thriller?
In the vein of like Pulp Fiction.
Oh, God.
Starring 2 trans women. Hello.
Fierce.
Yeah, it's fierce. It's in the Tenderloin in San Francisco.
Oh,
messy.
Oh.
It's messy.
Oh. Okay, so this is going to... I don't want to gross you out, but it might happen. In the Tenderloin, I have seen 3 people... feces out the butthole.
3 hot turds.
Hot steaming turds in the San Francisco weather. And I was like, what in the... It's ground zero. I mean, it was like Mad Max there. And it's really tough. Like the income, the rich and poor is so like, it's really tough there.
Oh, no, the disparity is crazy.
It's wild.
There. We walked past some shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of things. Because we didn't always have the budget to block off a street.
Oh, okay.
Out in the elements.
Right. Scary?
Oh, no, it was fine.
You ain't scared of nothing?
If you knew my history, I was right at home. Moving right along.
Say no more. I won't, from that mysterious information, I'll just glean my own kind of, let's just say I've had a similar history of a sort, and it's, I found that nothing really scares me, but in that space, it's like, it can be kind of deadly because if nothing really scares you, I think there's a tendency that nothing can really excite you at the same time. Does that make sense?
That is an interesting thought. And I've had it as well.
Really, yeah.
Because it's like, well, what's going to motivate me to get up in the morning if nothing excites me or scares me a little?
Yeah.
You want to be a little bit scared.
Yeah.
Or excited.
Yeah. I feel it's also like, if you've been through the ringer in a way, it's like what next? I don't know.
Yeah.
When was the first time you felt I was like, oh, I ate as an actor?
I what?
Like you ate as an actor.
Oh.
Like you served that.
It was probably like early 30s when I was really like becoming the teacher's pet. And it was like week after week, scene study class. So like, they would put me up first, and it was just a lot of praise, you know. And
Yeah.
I guess I needed that to build me up because I had been beaten down by life. And acting was like the thing that picked me back,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was probably an acting class when I just realized, oh, okay, I got this.
You had some good support from your teachers.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
That's
classmates.
fierce. Oh, that's
There
fierce.
was, yeah, so much talent in that class. We used to watch Oscar-worthy work week after week.
Really?
And that's why I have to remind myself I'm so blessed and grateful and lucky to be doing this for a living, because there's so many talented people that just get lost in the sauce or don't get that first break or whatever. I mean, I went to class with so many talented people that I'm like, where is this person?
Yeah.
What? I'm not going to forget that once I get any like clout in this industry.
Right.
I'm going to definitely go back and like cherry pick some people out of that class. But yeah, there's a lot of talented people that just don't get through.
I've seen the numbers, like the competition, and I can't even imagine like what, and especially before social media, like especially before, you know, when it was in the age of the tabloids, and then all of this superstardom was so powerful and potent, like, and you couldn't do it yourself. You relied so much on the agents, and it was like on the system, and that competitive atmosphere must have been, I can't even imagine, crippling, because it's like everybody who made it back then is like had to claw their, or it seemed to me anyways, you know, really fight and claw. And I wonder, is it, once you make it, is it harder to kind of not pull the ladder up, you know? Because I think, I know some people who are so incredibly ambitious, and it's scary. And they get so hyper-focused and so, as by nature or by necessity, selfish, because they got to, you know, really get their career going. But it's like, it seems like, oh man, you can see, I could see anyway how they would just leave them all behind, you know? And it's kind of sad.
Just by being overwhelmed by
And also
success.
just like, it sweeps you up and it takes you away. And sometimes you don't even think, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I've like made it.
What would you consider
yet.
making it then?
Oof. When you're not worried about where your next gig is coming from.
Does that ever happen in acting though?
Ooh.
I mean, not to sound depressing, I don't want to, but like, I wonder, because it's...
I think it happens for some people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think it's different for men.
Oh my
It
God.
just depends on where you're at. Like, sometimes I think I'm battling misogyny and transphobia, so I'm kind of like a double, right? And then it's just like, anything else you add on, just like,
Yeah. How much harder you want to work for the same thing? It's crazy.
But I think making it is when you have financial freedom.
Yeah.
And you can say, oh, I want that person to play that.
Yeah.
And nobody battles you to the point where you don't get to, you know, have a say.
Right. Yeah.
Or wears you down. Like when you get to that point where everything's not like pulling teeth,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. There's like an ease to the creative process and a control to it.
Yeah, because everything doesn't have to be such a hard fought win.
Lord.
Good Lord.
If you had to choose like if you had to hop into another profession tomorrow, but it could be anything, like say you could be a plastic surgeon or like a cardiac nurse or whatever, or like a middle school teacher, any like, what would be the most rewarding but also kind of fun job other than entertainment?
Well, music is always something I've wanted. I mean, I did a little bit of, I do have a couple songs out. I rap a little. But I've never thrown myself all the way into that. So I would like to see what that would give. But outside of entertainment, I would say I would do like sports reporting.
Oh my God, that would be so fierce. What sport would you want to do?
Oh, basketball and track and field.
Fierce.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with the Olympics.
But like, I don't want to do it like dry and like the cishet version. I want to give them like the Queen's version. So like, I think that would be fun.
That would be so fierce. I saw a clip of this woman, and she was interviewing a guy at the end of a basketball game, And it was crazy. I wish I could pull it up because she was like, so what do you think are the contributing factors to your success of this game? And he's like, well, we just rammed it up their ass every time. It was like, so crazy. He was like, we got the D and sucked up their. It was like the most outrageously suggestive language.
And she didn't react?
She did not react
I
one
would be like,
bit.
you did a what? Up there who?
Exactly.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of play I want to see.
Throw the basket like Nancy Drew was scoring the thing like it was so. It was like she was just stone faced. I mean, I don't think she was listening. You know what I mean? It was just like,
she was just on autopilot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like that would be. I love it when those roles because sports get so serious.
It does.
Because there's so much money, I would assume, right? I mean, I was wondering why
money and masculine energy usually.
Yeah, but I know they're I'm sorry about it. I know they're I know that they are.
They're definitely fucking trans girls.
Honey, you don't have to tell me.
David,
show the receipts. He's got the receipts up there. Okay, now speaking of, I don't know, erotic activities. Now, of course, please shoot down any of these questions if they become too vulgar.
Okay.
I'm kind of vanilla-ish a little bit.
Yeah.
Like for me, like when I feel like I suddenly have an MD and I'm a surgeon and we're in the operating room rather than the bedroom, I feel like...
no blood, no feces, please.
Oh, yeah. Well, you lose me at feces, but we'll agree to disagree. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Okay. Speaking of which, have you ever been on the grid? The Grindr grid, of course.
I dipped my toe on the grid.
One toe.
One toe.
What was it like?
It was many things.
Was it warm? was it cool, refreshing? Was it satisfying?
It was in some ways it was refreshing.
Okay.
Because it's just all out there.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
What I appreciated most is that there were straight men on there. Their name would literally be like straight man for trans. Like
spell it out.
Like no mystery. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Whereas on the other apps, like the straight apps, it's like I gotta put trans in my bio, and then of course they don't read, so I gotta.
Oh
hey,
my God!
So I'm trans, right? Okay, I
just,
gotta. Like, is that okay? Like, and then there's like all these questions, and it's like, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah,
you know?
It's just like it's like an educational rollout every conversation.
So exhausting because you're dating outside the rainbow.
Yeah.
Whereas on Grindr, even if they're straight, they're coming into our, we're bringing
That's a really good point.
That's
a really good point.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100%. So there's like it's a home turf advantage in a way. It's
exactly.
Like,
It's like play nice.
Or don't come in the
rules,
stadium. Yeah.
Or get up out the yard.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. It's funny. I miss when I was back in Boston doing drag shows, and on Wednesdays and Thursday nights, they would have, it was kind of the Tea Girl night. They were more usually like it was one side of the bar that was for mixing and mingling, and then the other side was the show. But the directness that you described in the profile translates to the real life, where they come right up 3 inches from my face and be like, "Hi, are you busy tonight?" If I looked good, and it was just like I love that. No, like beating around the bush, Sometimes it was a little inappropriate, like to say I want to do this and this, and it's like, well, hello, hi, my name is. We do that first, but it was I don't know. It was like It was nice and direct and refreshing in that it was just no bullshit.
Was this when you were up in Guiche?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a forwardness that...
It's a little... I mean,
whether
often...
you're a drag girl or a trans girl, it's like sometimes once they know that you are one of the girls...
One of the girls.
It's like, oh my God, any kind of politeness is just out the window. They just go for whatever.
There's
and
no
like, whoa.
Yeah, like chivalry is dead, or there's no decorum or anything.
Yeah,
it's
decorum,
like
that's the word.
Yeah, it's like how about hello? My name is. How are you? Rather than I want to suck your dick. Especially that's when they come out the gate, right in 3 inches from the face. It's like, excuse me, you talk to your mother like that? I don't think so.
How's your head game? What? Trash, by the way.
Toothy.
Can you take me shopping? Toothy. What do you want? Trash. My head game's trash.
Head game, trash.
You can get me head.
And then take me to Neiman's.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it. My God. I'm sure that, dating is tough for anybody, obviously. Dating as a trans person must come with its own sort of unique set of challenges. What, if anything, do you have for advice in the way of dating trans?
Oof. I'll speak as a post-op transsexual woman with this Bangkok. It's like, it's wild. I feel like I live in the Twilight Zone sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, because I do get a lot of attention. However, it's conditional. And then,
what do you mean?
well, like, they don't always know the tea, and then
Right.
you tell them, and then it's like, it either gets really sexual
Right.
or they're not with it, or they get upset, or they just don't care. It's like one of those. And so
That's a lot of different reactions, though.
yeah, so you never know what you're going to get.
That's three very different outcomes.
It's like, you take the compliments with a grain of salt. And
Yeah.
It's like, and then, I don't know, it's just very complicated. It's just dating as a straight transsexual woman with a vagina is complicated. Yeah. So.
Do you think that there's
I don't know what the advice was.
No.
It's just like, try not to go insane.
Yeah.
I guess.
Part. Also just for regular people dating, quote unquote regular dating.
Yeah, regular dating.
Try not to go insane.
Regular dating.
Yeah, regular.
It's hard too.
Hi, I'm Bob Regular, and I'd like to have a date, please. Are you Kathy Casual? It's like, what the hell? Oh my God. Did you ever see Girl 6 by Spike Lee, the movie?
Oh, I think I did like probably 2 or 3 decades ago.
Yeah, me too. You cannot stream it anywhere.
Oh,
It's
you can't?
No, it's a shame. And
There's a legendary acting teacher named Suzanne Batson in that movie.
Drop into the pain. Yes.
I haven't seen that movie in probably 3 decades.
Okay, because I could literally recite that whole monologue.
Oh, please do.
Okay. I'm going to add a sensorial element. The stinks.
Okay.
Smell the
David.
But she's like, the only reason. She's the Miss Lovely Brown, or that's her name.
That's her character
name. The telephone sex operator name. She's taking the acting class from this legendary acting teacher, who's a real acting teacher. Like, is it right?
Suzanne Batson.
Yeah,
she's like Nicole Kidman's teacher. She taught Laverne Cox.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
And she's like, the only reason. And she says, and the woman's like, well, I don't want to take off my top in the audition. She's like, well, you gotta take your top off, honey bunch. It was so funny. It was, me and my friend, like, we'll just, call each other and just be like, the only reason. It is so good. And it was an ensemble that had Jennifer Lewis, Naomi Campbell, Madonna, Debbie Mazar.
I love Debbie Mazar.
Yeah. It was like such a unique cast of characters. And then this is going to be so gross, but one of the, I don't know what her name was, but she was kind of the alternative girl in the phone sex line. And she said, listen to my waterbed.
That's wild.
So gross. It was so funny. The movie is wild. And it gets real dark.
Yeah.
It gets real dark at the end. And
I have to go rewatch it.
You got to find it.
Stream it
you
anywhere.
can't stream it anywhere. I tried desperately to try to restream it, and I couldn't find it. It's literally not available, but I don't know why. It's so fierce.
Technology.
Yeah. But I'll never forget.
Miss the analog world?
I do.
Do you?
I really think that the cell phones up bad.
They did.
Bad.
Yeah.
And I mean bad, like really bad.
I think so too. I don't think we need to be disconnected.
No. And we don't need to be, because I think that, this is what I observe anyways, that you meet the person's phone first, and then you meet them if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks.
You meet their online profile first.
Yeah. And I didn't have to grow up curating an online persona before my identity formed as a teenager or a young adult.
Right.
You learned how to be, like, who am I going to be? What does that mean? And then you kind of did it and tried it out. And then you didn't have to worry about the avatar in the digital world.
Yeah.
I think like we're probably of an age where you just, if it's fun, you do it. If it's not, who cares?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my opinion. So let's get into some questions.
Is this the game?
This is the game. So we've got a list of topics and behaviors related to sex, relationships, dating, yada, yada.
Okay.
I'm going to throw them out at you. You're going to decide if it's an holy thing to do or not an holy thing to do, okay? You'll say asshole or not asshole for short.
Okay.
So, asshole or not. Canceling a date last minute because a better offer came up.
That's asshole.
Yeah, I agree. If you make the plans, follow through with them.
That doesn't bode well for how you're teaching that other person to treat you, because then you look like last minute Lisa.
Last minute Lisa.
They can
Oh,
just
girl.
do what they
dropping off at the last minute
make
Lisa.
plans at last minute.
Not last minute Lisa.
I have a life.
I did it once.
Did you?
Yeah, and I felt like an asshole. And I was, I think. Yeah.
I think maybe I did it when I was in my younger years, probably.
Yeah.
I can't.
The guy was real sexy, though.
What?
The guy was real sexy. And he came into the bar. He was in the bar, not on the phone.
Oh.
So it was like, I felt like at that moment, real life trumped the phone or you know what I mean? The promise of something.
Oh.
So I told the guy on the phone, I was like, don't come. But I mean, he hadn't left the house yet.
Did you give an excuse? Like,
I said, I got diarrhea probably. I said, I got diarrhea. Oh, IBS. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, I'm going to my pants. You don't come here. David. Okay, wait. Asshole or not? Talking about your ex on a first date.
well, I mean, this is not a black and white answer. This is like, I think it's, if you just graze across the topic, it could be okay.
Okay.
But if you dive off the deep end and give the whole shebang bang,
And you use it there, like at
That's
the session. Yeah.
that's a buzzkill.
Yeah, totally. I want to hear about your ex. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, no.
So, asshole or not, splitting the bill when your partner makes significantly more than you.
Partner. So this is someone you're a partner.
Yeah.
Like relationship.
Yeah. Let's say like a year at least, a couple of years, let's say, together.
That's a little weird.
I know it is a little weird, I guess, because it kind of assumes something.
I just feel like, I think both parties should contribute, but
Yeah. I think it's a sliding scale.
maybe.
I think it's a sliding scale. But I think at a certain point, just my opinion, you have to kind of evaluate, is there a huge power imbalance in this relationship?
Right.
But if you're cool with it, you're cool with it.
I don't know if I have an answer on that one. It depends on the details.
I don't think I do too. Asshole or not, ending a date because they don't look like their pictures. Or we could say like not even ending a date right away.
Oh.
Has that ever happened to you? Catfish?
Yes.
No way.
I
Catfish?
can't remember the exact details. I just know I've had to speed up dates
Okay.
where you're like, ooh, those teeth ain't right. They were not in the profile.
Yeah. In the picture
that
they were
grill
white.
is
Now they're
not.
brown.
Get your grill together. Like, no. I can't do that. Teeth are a deal breaker for me.
Yeah. I mean, teeth are, they're important. There was a guy who came and I realized what he had shared with me was a Polaroid of him in the 70s. I mean, it was like laughable. But the
Before
photo
you
he
were
sent to
born.
me, yeah. I mean, the photo he sent to me was like 25 years old.
Oh my
But
goodness.
I was like, why did I agree to meet him? Because I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Update your photos.
Yeah. It's crazy. Okay, so asshole or not, using someone's streaming account after you've broken up, like their Netflix account.
I mean, that could be reparations.
Yes. I mean, that's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Who cares?
What did they do to you?
$17.99 a month is, if you want to.
That's the least my ex could do.
Exactly.
Damn it.
Yeah. They'll be lucky if they don't, swipe their Amex too.
Right.
Oh, this is actually interesting. Or not, talking about money on the first date. I mean, that's a little vague, but why is it, let me ask you this, why is it so taboo in America to discuss one's salary? Because it really is.
I wonder that as well, because I actually think that transparency is healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And we should talk about money more. And I think it's annoying that it's like supposed to be hush hush.
I think it's hush hush because managers don't want to know how much, don't want the workers to know how much they're getting paid.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It favors the people in power.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
100%. So, asshole or not, dating several people at once in the early stages of the dating. Yeah.
That's what dating is.
Yeah.
You're supposed to date.
Yeah, you play the
people.
field, right? Yeah. How many do you think is too much? I mean, like, I guess it depends on how much time you got. 7?
Whoa. Jesus.
One for every day of the week. I mean, it's a numbers
My
game.
goodness. I barely have time for one.
Yeah. For real.
I don't know. I think that depends on
Yeah.
the individual. But I don't
agree.
know.
Two or three
is healthy. And
reasonable.
Then you just figure out if you would like to spend your time with one more than the other. I'm old school. I don't know.
Wait, what does that mean, old school? What do you mean?
Like I'm into romance and monogamy and
Yeah.
Girl, probably because I've had this crazy life and I just want like the fucking white picket fence and the dog and the husband and like I don't know. I think you want what you haven't had, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think every day I'm crazy for like not entertaining non-monogamy. Like I want monogamy. That's what I sort of visualize anyways. And I'm like,
you do want monogamy.
I do, yeah. And it's like, is
I
that,
do too.
It's like, is that
I don't
insane?
know if it's realistic.
Yeah, I don't know if it's realistic.
I want it, but
on Grindr in this economy.
Exactly.
Girl, it's crazy.
Then I get on Grindr and I'm like, oh, everyone's polyamy,
like,
something.
Poly who?
Hallelujah.
Polly Pocket?
Polly Pocket. There's a new term every freaking week.
I know. It's too much to keep track of.
Up.
I mean,
like, I'm just.
Oh, God. It's too much. Whatever happened to hello?
Do you want to go steady?
Yes. Here's my my jacket and my ring.
Exactly.
Oh my God. My varsity jacket and my class ring. Oh man. God. Okay. So now it's time for some real people. We set up a voicemail for Grindr users to call and share their very own Who's the Asshole stories. Let's have a listen to see if we can shed some light on their situations. Let's see who's on the dong.
It looks like a good time.
Hello. It's a rotary too.
So I went on a date with this guy that I met on Grindr. We talked for a few days, met up in person, had a really good first date. He was like, I really want to see you before you go out of town. And I was like, okay. And he texted me the next day and wanted to come over. And I moved some stuff around, made it happen. And then he canceled on me last minute. And then he rescheduled for the next day. Same thing.
Oh.
So a couple weeks go by. I don't hear anything from him. And I was just like, okay, I'm not, like, going to do this. I was just like, hey, did I send you? Like, I noticed that you still, like, look at my story, but you haven't, like, reached out to me. He was like, well, it's just you're the first trans guy that I've ever been with.
Oh.
I was like, oh, okay. He's like, and I'm just not really sure how I feel about it. I feel really weird. And I was like, I wasn't mean to him. I wasn't angry. I was like, look, we all have different kinds of stuff to deconstruct. And it sounds like you have some, issues around transness or maybe transphobia or something that you need to deconstruct. Like, you figure it out. And in the future, if you want to talk or whatever, we can. It was like, you can't do anything about it, right? Like, I wish you had told me. So a few hours later, he actually texted me again.
David, wake me up. David. Well, so
yeah,
okay.
I've heard enough.
Yeah. Girl, I ain't gonna do the work for you.
Anybody got time for that?
Nobody got the time. Nobody has time to do their own laundry, never mind the emotional labor of your first encounter with any kind of person.
Yeah.
Get a grip.
It's giving buzzkill.
Yeah, we're not doing emotional labor in 2024.
No.
Like, guess what? The first
not
night out.
weeks of it. Like,
No!
one,
Canceled? Yeah.
One kind of iffy conversation. Maybe.
Yeah. And that depends on how cute they are.
But don't let it run past that.
No.
Because if you bring that to the bedroom.
Oh, God. That's a real snooze fest. Yeah. If you want to work out issues, you pay me like a therapist.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy. It's wild. Like,
it's wild.
People really think that they're the center of the universe and that you're going to be like dialed into it's just so wild to me. It's fucking crazy. Okay.
Yes.
So I would say that's a flop.
You deserve better, sweetheart.
Yeah. Nobody.
There are better hookups out there even.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if that was a serious thing or just a hookup, but like, no.
Also, casual. Whatever happened to just Kathy casual? You know what I mean? Like, why does it have to be so serious? The first date, the first try at something is like It doesn't have to be like a grand production either. It can be like little.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. More phone bone. Hello.
Why is it that when someone is coming over to your place, you don't feel the need to clean up, straighten up, freshen up, or anything? But as soon as one walks in, you say, please excuse the mess. No, I will not excuse the mess. You did not excuse the mess. You did not even attempt to begin to alleviate the mess. I shouldn't be the asshole because I left a clean home and I did not come here to sit and squalor with you. I can't be the asshole.
I
Absolutely.
agree. 100%. Excuse the mess. No.
No.
Clean it.
Clean your mess and clean your asshole.
Oh my.
Just,
Oh my God. Wait.
that's ridiculous. Hygiene is like number one. And so is your space. Like, I don't want to.
That's an extension of your hygiene, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Your bedroom and the bed and your body are all the same kind of. It's just like it's the same thing. And why is it?
I was seeing a guy once, and it only took me one glance at that bathtub to not ever go back to that house.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I just thought, what? Like, that's a red flag. I don't know.
You don't want to know what's beneath it.
I've seen enough.
Yeah, that's smart.
I've seen enough.
Shit. One thing I always was curious about with straight identified, I say straight identified guys, because that's how they identify. Just choose to honor that. Why do they think that? Just because they're horny, they're clean?
Yeah, I don't know. They need a tutorial.
A big time. They need a YouTube.
Yes.
They need a little epic mini series of how to douche your on the YouTube, like for free, like a PBS mini series or documentary. Like, hello, straight man. So we hear that you've been interested in playing with your. Here's a few things you should know first. And you go to CVS and grab these items and come back to the YouTube. It will get it going on. It would be so helpful. Also, I would have loved to have that. Because, I had to learn how, and I just had to Google it or whatever.
They teach everything else in sex ed. Why don't they teach how to clean assholes?
Oh, wow. They didn't teach us. We never had sex ed.
Oh.
Nothing. So that's why I got pregnant.
Wait, where did you go?
Now I got 3 kids. Okay.
Me too.
Would you want kids?
Maybe if I have.
I see you as a fierce mom. I don't mean, obviously, just fierce anything, but.
I have house kids, but no. If I had a partner that wanted them, maybe. Yeah. We'd figure it out, I think.
Interesting, yeah. Not for 1 second in my life have I ever entertained, even for the briefest, most flickering moment. It's like, I think about Katherine Hellman in Overboard. She's like, darling, if you have a baby, you can't be the baby.
It's true. Maybe I'll just get a dog.
Yeah. Or like a parakeet or something. Something very low maintenance. Something on the floor.
Okay.
Or I don't know.
They do talk a lot, though.
Well, yeah. Maybe like a lizard or something.
Okay.
Ooh, this looks good.
Okay.
Phone bone. Ooh.
Phone bone.
Hello?
So I had a fiance who broke up with me for not having sex with him enough, but that would have been at least once a week. Am I the asshole for not having
I'm sorry.
I guess not having more sex with them?
I don't think they're the asshole, but it's a different kind of relationship that they're in, I would say. They're in two different relationships.
It's a very settled relationship. I don't know. Once a week.
But then that's a friendship. Sometimes I hear people saying once a month, and I'm like, what?
Once a month, that
seems like on the brink of something.
That's on the fritz.
Yeah.
Once a week is not unsalvageable. However, it just sounds like they have different needs. So maybe their needs have changed, or if once a week is, and I'm assuming they weren't willing to budge on their once a week.
Yeah.
Once a week, their other partner wasn't getting their needs met. So
because two people work full time, sometimes once a week is the only thing possible. People get tired, whatever. But once a week ain't that bad. Twice a week is better.
In the beginning, it's like once a day, right?
Once a day. Come on. If you see the person, like, come on.
And then it gets,
you
find your groove, and it's like, times
you
a week,
start to get tired, and then you maybe like
unless you live together. Yeah. And then it's like.
I don't understand people in the beginning part of a relationship where they're like, he doesn't want to. It's like, well, it's so simple in the beginning. So don't delude yourself.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to think. Usually, all things being equal, if people are kind of adjusted and work through their whatever drama, like it's not that hard.
Well, that should be there. And
Yeah.
I've definitely settled for situations where that primal urge wasn't there. And that doesn't work for me.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Like the nice guy that's just, you don't want to jump his bones. Some people be like, oh, it'll grow. Like the attraction grows. Like my sister says that to me. Well, can't the attraction grow? I had my mom say that to me too.
well, the erection
And I'm
can grow.
like, I need to want to
Yes. Yeah, otherwise it's a friend, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're faking it. I don't want to fake it.
Yeah,
for
or
this
you're trying to
person.
convince yourself. And it's like, what for?
No.
I don't know. Yeah.
You should want to like devour that person.
100%. Like want to climb them like a wall and just like maul them like a lion. That's Okay. Now, your turn. Trace. Is there a situation where you were wondering, was I the asshole?
So,
You ever left somebody on red?
yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I think there's like different definitions to ghosting.
Yes. Tell me. Because I'm a ghoster and I'm working through it.
I think that depends on your definition of ghosting. But like, if you go on one date
That's not ghosting.
and there wasn't fireworks.
No. It's a wrap.
don't hit them up. I don't feel like I need to. I think it's just
It
a
happens.
given
Yeah.
that you know.
I agree.
And then you know.
What about 3 dates?
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure I've been an at some point. I don't know if I can pinpoint a time. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been guilty of that. Like the 3 dates and I lose interest and I don't say anything. But
Okay.
and it's not great. It's not mature. It's certainly not really like adult, direct, compassionate human behavior. But
Yeah.
whatever.
I think 3 dates. Yeah, that's on the border. I don't know.
I feel like 3 dates is you've established some kind of a rapport that deserves
Yes.
like, hey, by the way, I'm just moving in
isn't
another
working for
direction.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd be able to say that. How would you break up with someone after 3 dates?
I've done that. Yeah. I've
What do you
just
say?
said, hey, I just didn't feel a connection, but you're great.
Okay.
Somebody's great. You're gonna be great for somebody.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably horrible.
I was like, yeah. Oh, it feels like it's like to me you're ugly, but to somebody else you'll probably be nice looking.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
I will say though, like I spent the whole summer getting to know this one person, and then it just it crumbled.
Oh, no.
And there was really no real resolution. I think that is behavior. Like if you've spent like months,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
and then there's just
But on the flip side though, I do find that sometimes when we want closure, we ain't gonna get closure.
Well, that is the closure.
Oh yeah,
It's
right.
like,
But yeah, people really kind of like get hung up on it. Like, well, what was the reason? What was the reason? It's like,
oh no, you can't.
I had such a pleasure getting to know you. You are
Oh
so
my
fierce.
God.
Oh my gosh.
Likewise.
And thanks for listening. Thanks for looking at the dong telephone. And don't forget to subscribe to Who's the Asshole wherever you get your podcasts. And please follow our guest. What are you on socials?
Trace Lysette.
Trace Lysette. TraceLyssette.
Yeah.
No. Okay, got it. And call our hotline at 510-HOLE if you have a story of your own. I'm Katya, and I'll see you and your hole next time. Thanks so much for coming. It was so fun.
Thank you. That was so fun.